Joseph, welcome to What's Brewing. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
All right, guys, moving on. Did you guys know that single people get dressed up and go to Target to meet people? No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So did y'all know that single people get dressed up and go to Target on Friday to meet people? I didn't. Story time. It's a Friday night. I needed to pick up some stuff for an event I was throwing the next day, so I hit up my favorite spot, Target. Now me, I just had on a jogging suit, some tennis shoes. I didn't know what I was about to walk into. So as soon as I walk into the Target, I hear Anita Baker playing out the speakers. It's like a smooth little vibe going on in there. It's like people to the left, to the right. Target usually dead in the evening, but no, it was lightweight a vibe up in there. So I'm walking around doing my little 1-2 shopping or whatever, but I'm seeing like, prospects.
Right.
So I get to, one of the aisles or whatnot, and I see this beautiful, heavenly creature. She was my type, and you already know. Thick, fluffy. And so I looked at her, she looked at me, and she's like, "Hey, Tom." Now this happens to me all the time, right? People recognize me from different things or things I've done in the past, and they be talking to me like they know me, and I don't be knowing them from Adam. You know what I'm saying? But, I just played it off. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "Yeah, I know you. You're the guy from the insurance thing." Now, most of y'all don't know. Y'all see me on TikTok or
Insurance thing. Does anybody know him? Does he look familiar to you guys? The other thing too, just to add in there, I've been seeing run clubs are really popular. People are doing the run club thing. And I guess Target kind of makes sense. I could see it.
Or Facebook or so in real life, I'm an insurance broker. And she was like, "I laughed so hard at that video you posted." And I was like, "What video are you talking about?" And she was like, "The one when you was interviewing your mom." So one of the things I do with all my customers and clients, I made this thing called a burial guide, right? And so it lists all these different things that, people need to know in case you pass. And so I was interviewing my mom one time. And I was like, "Look, is there anything in the house that you would want removed before your friends and family come inside the house after your passing?" And my mom said, "That box of 14-inch dildos up under my bed with the double action pump." And I was like,
"Stop it."
"Cut the camera off." "What? What's up under your bed?" And she looked at me with a dead face and was like, "I have needs, son." And I was like, "A double action pump? What in the hell, woman?" So the video had went viral, right, on a local level, but then I took it down because it was my mom. So I took it down, but it got me a lot of attention. So we was laughing and joking about that, and we was walking around together. When I tell you, like, initially she was just like the conversation, the chemistry, just everything was just on point, like on point. Like we talked, I bet you we were at Target for probably about an hour and 20 minutes. Like we walked around and then, I don't know if y'all know this, but
It's a date. Put it in the books, gentlemen. Right next to the coffee dates. See how they like that.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
my favorite section at Target. Look, and Target need to cut me a check because if everybody start going to Target and looking at this section, my favorite section at Target, take me to the Magnolia section, Chip and Joanna. Look, them is my people. I love Chip and Joanna, right? So we still, at Target or whatever, we exchange numbers and she's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about like really getting an insurance policy. I really need to get on that." You know what I'm saying? And my sister, we've talked about like having all the family members come over and then like have somebody come over and give everybody a quote, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, I do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Come over, give the people a quote, let them know what they can do.
Bust your cheeks a little bit. Get into insurance, gentlemen. That's what it sounds like to me. You have insurance? Why don't you come over and get a quote? Yeah. I got a quote for you.
I always want to try to make sure people, especially people of color, get covered.
You're not slick, bro. I'm messing with you, bro.
Because that's just something we don't do that we have to do, right? So we exchange information. Look, I'm not even gonna lie. This is going to be one of them stories where y'all be like, Tom, look, I was in love with this girl from the moment I met her. The vibe, Everything. Like, we exchanged numbers. We were texting back and forth. Everything was sweet. Like, she started sending me like pictures, and she was just like, how you think I look in this? Does this make my look big? Oh my gosh. Dude, can you see my this top? Like, we like literally vibing, like, you know what I'm saying? And we set a date for me to come over and start, you know, doing the quote on her family members or whatever. And she was just like, cool, you can come at 7.
Right.
7, and then I'll have everybody start coming at 8. So I'm like, from 7 to 8, what's about to happen? You know what I'm saying? So,
I know, yeah.
So I done went and got a haircut, beard all lined up. You know what I'm saying?
Spilling coffee and shit. Getting into the story.
And I'm smelling good, looking good. I'm ready to go over there and, you know, possibly clap some cheeks.
I knew it.
Why, when I knock on the door,
right.
Her husband answers? Yeah.
Wow, put that coffee down.
Put that coffee down.
First Chris Brown. Now this? She's married? She's married? Yo. Guys, I did not watch this the whole way through. Let's check out some of these comments and see what... She's married? Let's see what these comments have to say. Be safe out here, gentlemen. Top comment says, Target should start hosting single hours. As a store director at a Target, I can confirm. This next commenter says, why I'm sitting here thinking next Friday night when I'm free, I'm going to Target. Ma'am, you better not be married. Let me see. I'll be damned if we don't expose every last one of you here on the coffee pod. I don't see any husband here. But just because he's not posted doesn't mean he doesn't exist. Check out more comments. Somebody else here says, I noticed the fine men and unks be going around 1 to 4 p.m. Somebody else here says, I'm confused because I see men in Target all the time. They just look straight ahead. No conversation whatsoever. It must be me. Yeah. You gotta be. Is no one talking about how this chick is married? I want you guys to imagine this was a woman talking about a married man. Would these chicks be over here just laughing in the comment section? Ha ha, he, I'm going to Target. That's the place to be. No. They'll be sharing their experiences. What a dog. Right? Insane. We're going to check out the other part to this video. Hold on. We have to find part 2. There's a second part. There has to be. Give me a second here. I'm going to find it. Bro, I can't find the second part. Maybe he left the audience hanging like that. He's good. Here we are looking for it. By the way, I'll have his handle in the description as well. I have most of the people's handles who I react to here. All right. Part 2. Shout out to First Off in My Opinion. Let's check it out.
Her husband opens the door, greets me at the door. She comes up behind him, you know, hugging his shoulder or whatever. She's like, come on in, Tom. Now, in my head, I'm like, we go together. You got a husband? We in a whole relationship and you got a husband? You my soulmate and you got a husband? So I'm walking in like somebody done stole my bike. Like, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm kicking stuff. And the dude was weird. He was weird. Like, he was just a weird dude. Like, quiet, clammy hands when I shook it. Like, just weird, just strange, right? So we sit down at the table, you know, and we going over coverage. Now they got a big, nice house, big, beautiful house. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing insurance enough to know when I'm in a room with two people who just coexisting versus two people who happily married, it's a different vibe. I could tell, I don't know. And then come to find out they had only been married for less than a year. So I'm like, either I don't know what's going on, right? At this
A lick.
point, I really don't know what's going on. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just get this money. Let me write these policies real quick, right? Go over the numbers, cost of the house, all that kind of stuff. Because that's one of the things y'all don't be understanding about life insurance. Life insurance is just not like, let me put you in the grave. Like, if your wife or daughter...
Was he some older dude? Maybe he was just some old guy. But he would have said that if that was the case, right?
Or child or aunt or uncle, mother, father die, you may not be the same, and you might need to be off work for some time. So you got to calculate all that into, you know, what type of policy you get. Just going in there and getting only for $5,000. $5,000 ain't even gonna cover a cremation in most states no more. So that's a whole nother video. I write the policy, and so we going over my burial guide. So the burial guide goes over all the different things, like different types of, you know, burial procedures, all that kind of stuff, what happens when a person dies. But in the back of it, it's a workbook with all these questions that you fill out, because most people don't have wills, but we still be needing to know what to do with your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And what you want done. And so, like, it got a whole bunch of questions, like, who do you not want at your funeral? Who do you not want to speak at your funeral? What do you want to wear at your funeral? All these different questions, right? You know, the last question on the insurance policy is the beneficiary, right? And this always tells me what type of couple I'm dealing with. I asked her first. I was like, who do you want me to name as the beneficiary? Now, she has, altogether, we did $1.8 million worth of coverage on her. And so she's like, I want my mom to be the beneficiary. And then I was like, who do you want to be? You know, because you could name a second. So I'm just assuming she's going to say her husband, right? She says her sister. So, and I'm looking at him, you know, he just looking off into space, looking ghostly or whatever. So I get to him. You know, we only did like 100,000 on him. And he's like, my sister. And I was just like, this is weird. But this ain't the first time this didn't happen. I've done this numerous times where people married don't name each other as the beneficiary.
Yeah, probably one of those sprinkle chicks and women who pick the bear. Everybody pays the bills.
I mean, I guess that's the first sign that this ain't gonna work out. If you don't trust that, you know, you want to take care of the person you married to, right? The whole time, like, so we doing his paperwork, right? She's like behind me, leaned over with them warm big my back, pointing at the forms and laughing and you know, like she was acting like my girlfriend in front of her husband. I don't know what was going on, y'all just gotta stick with it, because I'm telling you, this story gonna take so many turns. Y'all gonna be like, Tom, why? All I could say was I fell in love with this girl. That's all I'm gonna say. Now let's get back into it. She's all up on me.
Right.
She's cooking at the same time because she got family members coming over. Right. So she going back and forth in and out of the room. And so I'm going over the questions with the dude, you know what I'm saying? And he just giving me like the most simplest forms and, you know, just like real, almost depressed. And so I'm thinking maybe they got problems, Her family members started coming over. So a few of her family members came in. Her sister came in, like couple cousins or whatever. So I started talking with them or whatever. And so now look, anybody who knows, if you had a black family and there's food being served, right? Everybody know that first plate goes to the husband or the mom or the father, the grandfather, something. That first plate should definitely not go to the insurance broker.
Oh man, nah.
And you definitely should not hand him the plate, lean over on his back and put them warm on his back again, and then give him a hug and a kiss on the top of his bald head.
There have to be some type of swingers or something.
As you walk away. So I'm sitting up here with this plate of food. All the women are now looking at me going, child, girl. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to eat because she can cook, because everything on that plate was fire. Dude is still sitting there at the table. I don't know what was going on with dude. He just seemed like he was utterly detached from the situation. So I write some...
Divorce? What do you guys think so far? I forgot all about you guys. I'm over here actually engrossed in this story. I forgot what's brewing. I forgot all about this shit. What do you guys think? Comment down below. What is going on here?
Some quotes I think I wrote like maybe 3 or 4 policies that night. Actually made some decent bread, right? So I go to leave. She's like, let me walk you out. So we go and they got like this nice like mud room or whatever. So I'm putting my shoes back on or whatever. And she grabs my hand and puts it on her nether region. And she starts rubbing it. And she's just like, I really want more from you. And I understand this is weird, but there's so much more I have to tell you so that this makes sense. But just understand I am yours. Stay tuned for part 3.
She wanted the cheeks clapped. Regardless, somebody else here says it's giving open marriage. Yeah, swingers, open marriage. Let me sit for part 3. Somebody else says, if you don't get back over here and finish this soap opera, sir. Here's somebody else who added, no, we go together and you got a husband. Here's somebody else who says, hold on a minute. Is this Risa Tisa's husband? Stop it. This shit has 3 parts. Well, he's got us looking for it. All right, final part here. And then we're just gonna end this this segment of what's brewing with this.
You know, I'm sitting down, I'm putting my shoes on. She got one of my hands on her cooter and she's telling me all this stuff. And her sister comes in and she, you know, I move my hand and her sister's like, hey, Tom, let me get one of them burial guides. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to, you know, take this home to my husband and we want to go over it and all this kind of stuff because we don't have a will and we really want to look at this burial guide. Hey, for one, if y'all want the burial guide, link in the description or on my profile. I reach in my bag, I give her sister a burial guide or whatever. It's a PDF, so if you could either print it out or send it to you digitally or whatever. So I leave. I get in my car and I'm just like, I don't know what to do because morally, I would never knowingly want to be in a relationship with a married woman. And I've always said, and I've always heard, like, if you start a relationship like that, that's how you, what do you say? If you find them like that, that's how you're going to lose them or whatever. Right. So I never thought I would want to do anything like that, but I'm not even going to lie. I had real feelings towards this woman and I know
this was infatuation, of course.
she had feelings towards me and she deceived me into thinking she was single. Cause I mean, like when I tell you, when I replay all of our conversations, I think the chemistry was so heavy. It never came up. Like, now don't get me wrong. She was married. She knew she was married. So she knew she should have said something. So I'm not going to say she shouldn't have. But what I'm saying is at that point, she hadn't lied to me. She just hadn't told me the truth. Now, right now, y'all probably like, Tom, you sound like you've fallen in love with red flags. And guess what, people? I did. And I did. Yes, I did. This is what happened. So this sequence of events, I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm a dial back from this situation because I don't want to be, you know, what breaks them up or whatever. I personally feel like, so I told her, I was like, look.
Did you clap the cheeks? Damn it. Let's keep listening.
If you want to see what happens with us, you're going to have to go ahead and get a divorce and, you know, get on your own feet and, you know, whatever. Cause I can't be the reason you get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? I'm not helping you or facilitating this situation. So she's like, I respect that, whatever. She still would text me, call me all the time. I would answer the phone maybe once or twice or whatever. I end up getting sick. I end up getting pneumonia, like real bad. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but when you single and you go through some physical adversity, whether it's a sickness, an illness, an injury, anything like that, all your single thoughts and all that stuff go out the window. You be like, dang, I wish I just had one person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, I had some women I could probably call.
This is what happens when a lot of people who think they want to be single start to get older. And when people get older, they get sick. And they start thinking about their decisions.
Or something like that. But man, she texted me. I was at the house, like really going through it. I was just like, I told her, I was like, I got pneumonia. I'm real sick. I got the chills right now. She was just like, say less. She came over. She got me together. I can't say nothing bad. She took care of me. And when I tell y'all, when
you say got you together, What are we talking about here? I want to know if she cheated on her. I mean, she already cheated. She's already cheated. But how far did this actually go?
Difference between a woman loving you and a woman caring for you and caring for you with action is just the level of comfort and care.
This man was actually in love with this chick. We might have to skip, bro. I really appreciate your video and your story, but we might have to skip a little bit of this.
That she provided when I was sick, like I had the chills, like to the point where after that I was on board. I was like, you know, what do we got to do to get this divorce, you know, together?
Oh, shit.
After that I was on board. I was like, you know, what do we got to do to get this divorce, you know, together? Because
right.
I wanted to be with this woman, like 100%. I went with her to a lawyer, you know, begin the proceedings. And so this is when she starts telling me,
hold on. You went with her to a lawyer to get a divorce. This is somebody who she's met in a store, had one conversation with. These modern women ain't shit. Let's keep listening.
About how their marriage went south so bad, right? Come to find out, on their wedding night, well, on the night before their wedding, he came home or whatever, back to the hotel or whatever. It was probably like 3:00 in the morning. And he had told her, he was like, I had unprotected sex at my bachelor party. And at this point, the wedding was already set. Everybody was coming from out of town. Everything was about to go down. So she went with it. She went all the way through it. And I've heard stories of guys who cheated on a, you know, fiance or whatever on a, you know, bachelor party or whatever. But I just felt like what was happening was deeper than that. So I was like, so you never forgave him? Y'all never went?
Never understood bachelorette parties for men or women. What's the point? What's the point? It just encourages cheating.
Went through counseling. Y'all never did anything. And she was like, no, I tried all that. But he just started to go deeper and deeper away. It's almost like when he cheated on me, it's like he retreated emotionally from the whole situation. So I was like, you sure? It sounds like something deeper is going on. Like, is he in a relationship with the person he cheated on you with? Maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we leave the lawyer's office and she's literally like, you know, about to go back to the house.
Did he catch something when he cheated?
Pack some of her stuff up and come stay with me. And I'm like, bet. Now, and the thing is, when I say now what we were doing was unchurchy, but she was a church girl at heart. And she took her vows serious, but it's just like, she really felt like she should have never walked down that aisle because of what happened that night before. So
she's a church girl at heart. Oh man. Listen, as somebody who definitely encourages men to find a woman who has spirituality in her life and fears God. And if you don't, you don't, right? It's up to you. I'll be the first to be honest and say there are a lot of so-called church girls who are the biggest freaks you ever run into. Both can be true. That doesn't mean that they aren't genuine women who are also in the church. There definitely are genuine women who are in the church as well, right? You just want to be careful. Both can be true. So I know the extreme is, oh, just because she believes in God doesn't mean, stop it. Both can be true.
All of this was weighing on her morally, but she was still going through with it. And we were going to move in together. This is, I remember this so vividly because I remember how pissed I was in the moment. So this is a Thursday night. She's supposed to come over to my house with, you know, some stuff. So bring some of the stuff from her house to my house.
Right.
So it's probably like 7:00. She didn't show up. 8:00. Didn't show up. 10:00. Didn't show up. So I text her. Didn't respond. The whole next night, you know, it's now Friday. Text her. Didn't respond. So now I'm like, I'm in my feelings. And the one thing you don't ever want a Virgo to do is get in their feelings. Because I was invested. Cause I, you know what I'm saying? I broke some of my moral codes to even get to this point. I'm calling her phone. And now I feel stupid because it's like, I'm time super. I ain't about to just keep calling you now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do this. And yeah, didn't hear from her till Sunday. Now, Sunday, she calls me and she's just like, Tom. Now, she never called me Tom. Like, never called me Tom. It was always baby or, babe or something like that. Never called me Tom. And hell, I think she even called me Thomas. And she was just like, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm not going to be able to move in with you. I'm not going to get a divorce. I'm going to stay with my husband. Something has happened pretty drastic and he really needs me right now. And I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? What changed that was that drastic? Y'all, why did this man try to unalive himself by jumping off of a 2,000-foot bridge? And he lived, but he was like, and she had been in the hospital with him for the last 3 days, because he was basically almost dead. And she felt extremely guilty. She, was going through all of those emotions. And so I had to take a step back and I had to let her go because she wasn't mine to really even take. Man, when I tell y'all that was a hard one, but that wasn't even the twist on the story. So I bump into her like maybe a year later, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, she's divorced now. But I was sort of in a relationship at this point. So she was divorced and she was on her way. She was about to move. And I was just like, so what? You ended up doing the divorce and, I was kind of like, what happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? And she just basically told me like the night before the wedding, all this time she had been thinking like he cheated on her, with one of the, females at the, the bachelor party. Come to find out, he cheated on her with his best man. And the best man had a video of it. And he was blackmailing him. Like, basically, pay me money, basically blackmailing him the whole time. Like, basically like you either pay me money or you give me some. So he like basically was blackmailing the dude and she was just like, why didn't you just tell me? And he was just like, I could not tell my wife that I was gay and getting blackmailed by my best man.
Pause.
Who basically was threatening to expose me with this video. So he's in a home, living in a home, messed up from the accident. She's now moving on. And look at me. I'm out here now, still single. About to go to Target on Friday, dressed up. Can't make this stuff up.
Wait. You gonna go do this? You gonna go through that again? To me, this just means if you're single out there, be careful and stay away from Target. What?
But it's just another one of my terrible dating stories. I'll see you in the next one. Yo, if y'all want to get that burial guide, click the link in the description. Listen,
man, crazy story. This is wild. Read a couple comments here. Top comment says, yeah, I think I'm gonna let y'all have Target, right? Barnes & Noble might be more of my speed. Somebody else here says, baby, Tyler Perry ain't got nothing on this. Here's somebody else that says, this sounds like a good Tubi movie. Moving on, listen, I know I said that was the last story, but speaking of sus behavior, Lil Uzi Vert poses for Marc Jacobs' new campaign. This photo right here is wild to me. I saw this photo and I commented, they'll call this progress and call black men pushing masculinity toxic. When I think about people who don't like the fact that there are channels that are pro masculinity and pro male, that are encouraging men to embrace a healthy dose of masculinity. And I think about how there are people who hate those channels, want those channels taken down, think that those pages are hateful, toxic, and don't want those men to have any space whatsoever. And you know what I'm talking about here. It's very easy to believe that there is an agenda and a war on masculinity. I mean, why is it okay for the media to push out black men in dresses, and you have someone like Drake, who paint his nails, a bunch of other artists. And some of these artists, we appreciate the art that they've brought. They're talented. But when it comes to this agenda, they will call you hateful for calling this out. Why is this okay? I'm going to read some responses here to my comment that I made in response to this. So one more time, I'll read again. It says, they'll call this progress and call men pushing masculinity toxic. And then I said, and wonder why men don't want to work and help pay bills. The coffee emoji. And there's a reason I worded that way, because women, the same chicks, the same modern women today, and some men who say masculinity is toxic, are the same women who expect a man, when they're ready to finally date, to tap into that masculinity, to earn enough money to pay both of their bills. And they believe that that's your job. Oh, but masculinity is toxic. They need coffee. A few responses here. This person says they don't drink coffee. Yep, they don't. This chick says on Target, she goes on to say, I'm in agreement with you. However, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, ... We can't negate that. That's not the point of my comment. We don't need to address the extreme. What I mean here is, like, why are we having a conversation about toxic masculinity when the topic is this? Somebody else who says a lot of this is to be blamed on females. They're the ones that endorse this type of men the most. This woman responds again and says, why are you looking to place blame on women for everything? That man agreed to put himself in that outfit. Don't do that. Don't blame women for men refusing to be men. Women can't even keep a man from cheating. Gosh. See, guys, this chick right here is a woman who cannot cooperate with the man in a relationship. Chances are she's single. Within the span of 2 posts, she's brought up cheating. Doesn't have anything to do with the conversation. Has brought up toxic masculinity. Doesn't have anything to do with the conversation. She goes on to say, at his age, I'm assuming that's supposed to say. I can't read that line there. It says he can age. Something about make him wear this shit, or do they make him wear this shit? Cut it out already and put the responsibility where it belongs. No. They don't understand. They don't understand because they don't drink coffee. This begins somewhere, and it starts in the home. It starts in families being broken up. It starts with the women who say, oh, I want to be a single mother by choice. There's a study that Legos did, and they were trying to figure out why girls didn't play with their toys. Company Lego, and they're trying to figure out why girls didn't play with their toys. So after a bunch of studying, they came to the conclusion that when boys play with toys, a boy has a Batman action figure, for example, he embodies that character. He pretends to be that character. However, when girls play with toys, they make Batman do girl shit, girl things, right? It's time for Batman to go shopping. Oh, Batman, you want to get your nails done? All right, Batman, let's go get your pedicure. So they realize that the girls make that toy act the way they do. So what happens when you have a single mother household who's raising up a bunch of boys and thinks she doesn't need help or a man to help her raise those kids? Let's see some more responses here. This person says, men want traditional women, yet men don't want to do basic traditional things like work, pay bills. Please take a seat, ma'am. Again, guys, you got to realize that these chicks are out of their mind. They're saying pay bills. What they mean is that they want you to pay all their bills. And they do not understand that we do not live in an economy where the average man can afford that. And they think the problem is you just don't want to do it. Here's somebody else that says, why would a straight black man want to wear that shit? Somebody else here added, drink the coffee will make you feel better. I've never actually read any of my comments here. You know what? That's it. Listen, as a reminder, gentlemen, it's okay to not want to wear a dress. It's okay to not want to paint your nails and do all these other things. It is okay. And you're not wrong for being against those things for yourself, for the young men who you plan to raise. Man forgives his wife for cheating. This video is captioned, "He returns to his pregnant wife after she got pregnant by another man." Let's get it.
What a real man is. He is sticking by me whether I cheated or not, which I did, but it's okay. We are still making it work. We are going to be one big happy family. As you know, we have other children together. So everyone's going to be brother and sister.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to be treated differently.
No separation on my end. Because let me tell you something. As a man, I was brought up to stick by your woman no matter what.
Bro, this has to be a skit. This has to be a skit. And it's not the fact that he forgave his wife. Guys, I've grown and learned that some men are going to forgive. As no matter what you think, they're going to forgive. But there's a big difference between the type of man who forgives in silence and the type of man who's okay with publicizing that his wife cheated on him. That to me will always be insane. The other one, though, I sit and think, I know I would not be able to do that. I can understand because nobody knows. But this right here, the guys who get on camera after their wife cheats and kind of wears it like a championship belt, it's tough for me to really take this shit seriously. Let's keep listening.
So even though I have other kids, yeah, but they're going to grow up as brother and sister. So we're not doing no separation. We in this together.
And let them know good women cheat, good men cheat. Hey, everyone cheats, but we still have to stick by each other. Nobody is perfect. Good men and good women cheat. They do things that they have no reason to.
That's why, this is hard for me right now, but as a man, I'm there for those kids.
It was hard for you, but it's hard for me. Those boys, they had nobody. You were there. You know how depressed I was. And you took that step and you said, you know what? You don't have to go through this alone. I will be there.
That's right.
Think about all the family dinners that we do. Once a week, we go to dinner.
She was so so depressed she had to get the cheeks clapped.
You know how happy everyone is? We're not going to break that up over a mistake.
That's why, although I'm hurt, but I'm not stepping out.
Do people get depressed? Yes. People go through things. But getting online publicly, bro. Getting online publicly and being extra vocal about this. I don't know, maybe they feel called to do this, or they think this is their purpose to. I don't know.
And I'm with you all the way.
We talked about this. We're not going to let our family go through anymore. That is in the past. We are moving forward. We're focusing on the family. That's the bond. That's the foundation. And to solidify our foundation, we are going to have another child.
And
and we are going to.
What? Who looks like they're in charge of this relationship? Who looks like they're in charge of this relationship?
Continue to bring more into this world because we love each other and we will never let go. Good men and good women cheat, but we will always be one.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, man, this is like when I first found out that she cheated behind my back. It hurt me, man. Like, it was like get a punch to the chest.
Get your words together. They understand.
But I took it like a man, and I love those kids, man. And I can't.
No, this shit's fake.
I can't see myself without them. I can't. Even though we got a blended family, like, I got my kids, but we're going to keep them together as a unit.
It does not matter. All of our kids are together. We had them. I don't care what father, what mother. Those are all of our children. And everyone knows that. You will always be in all of their lives. The twins need you. And we made a decision that we're not going to tell the children that he's not the biological father.
Right on to that.
This shit can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be. How's it progressively getting just terribly worse? Let's check out some of these comments. Top comment says, now this is a simp. See, when a woman are calling you a simp, then just know. But is this what it takes, ladies? A man to have all his kids not be his and get cheated on and get publicly embarrassed for you to Finally label a man a simp. Stop it. Here's somebody else who says he gonna cry in the car. Somebody else who says she paid the bills. Yep. Here's somebody else who says simping ain't easy. When I say she pays the bills, I don't mean a man should pay all the bills. Let's get that clear straight up. What I mean is she pays the majority of the bills. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you're paying that 10% and the woman's paying the majority of the bills, and all you're paying is a 10%, 15%, you gotta at least get closer to that 60-40, right? Or 70-30, 80-20. Listen, it does matter. Somebody else who says simping ain't easy. Here's somebody else who says, she said we understand. Hell no, we don't. This is crazy. This can't be real. Here's somebody else who added, man, the hell with that family. Get away from her, bro. Gotta be a skit. Yeah. Final story here. Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's divorce finalized with undisclosed settlement reached. And so it looks like the hell that Jeezy was going through with his ex-wife is finally over. At least publicly, right? It's kind of like one of those things where I heard an attorney say, you never can truly divorce somebody once you have a child with them. They're going to always be in your life. So you have to be careful who you pick to have children with. The caption of this post reads, Jeezy and Jeannie Mai's divorce has officially been finalized after reaching a settlement. New court documents obtained by TMZ reveals that the former couple, who previously had very public disputes over child custody allegations of abuse and other unsavory details, have reached a resolution in their divorce proceedings. The news publication also reports that they have submitted a request to finalize the matter under seal, ensuring that the specifics remain confidential. As a result, the specifics of their agreement will be kept confidential, shielding information about custody arrangements, child support, division of property, and alimony from the public. If only they could have done all this from the very beginning. I still can't believe that Jeezy had that cheating clause in his divorce. There was something about no emotional cheating. And cheating clauses are just horrible. I remember the lead attorney addressing this and him saying, it's difficult to define what that is. And when you say emotional cheating, that could be anything. That could be a text, a DM from somebody. Who defines whether something is cheating or not? Let's read a few of these comments. This person says, they put us all in their business and now we can't know the amount. Here's somebody else who says he paid her to get the F away from him. Sometimes you have to pay for peace of mind. Here's another person who says, Jeezy asked for a mandatory parental fitness evaluation on Monday, and Jenny said, I'll sign. Here's somebody else who added, went from I don't want kids to a single mom. Really do love to see it, this person says. Yeah. Seeing Jeannie Mai use the same tactics that we see initiated a lot here, and watching this play out in honestly the worst possible way it could have gone was sad to see. And like I said in the last video where I addressed this situation, I believe Jeannie Mai is a true wolf in sheep's clothing. All that talk about traditional, all that talk about submission, all that talk, all to turn around and put this man through public display of embarrassment. But such is the state of modern day